ready.
Let's do this. Okay. So we're out in Bonnie Jean Vineyard with Joy Lynn and Mark, and showing the Northwest Club that's being offered for the wine club this spring. And one of the things that's really cool is this is the first real bottling of Chardonnay from this site. We're standing in the Chardonnay right now. This was planted how long ago, Mark? 4
years.
4 years ago. And so last year was kind of our first real crop from it. We're great in 22, which is great. And we're excited. It's composed of 2 clones. The Dijon 76 is this upper area, and then 548 Dijon is the lower area. So between the 2 acres each, essentially. Those are our 2 favorite clones of Chardonnay. And it's been a big transition for the state, for this region, to go to these 2 clones, to the better Dijon clones. We were mired with a poor performing clone back in the day, UCD 108. Now that we have vines of the Dijon material that are of age and deeply rooted, these aren't there yet, but now that they are, we're seeing amazing wines coming from this region. It's just fantastic. So that's what we have here in this wine from Bonnie Jean. Then so Mark, when this is 4 years ago, and so the rest of the vineyard, though, just to give people a little bit of information, we started in what year?
In 2010 were the first 9 acres of Pinot Noir.
Right.
And then added another 9 acres in 2014.
Right.
All Pinot.
And then in addition, last year we did another
18 acres.
Okay.
Again, all Pinot Noir.
Yeah. So this is a beautiful, beautiful farm on Savannah Ridge. You folks are going to hear more about Savannah Ridge. We share this with Abbott Claim Vineyard, with Soder. It's a fantastic, fantastic ridge line. Okay, now we are Rosé. So this is from Canary Hill, and those who follow us probably have heard Canary Hill mentioned so many times. We've been working with the site since 1987, and started farming it in 96. Actually, I did initially for 1 year, and I was so bad at my job that we hired Mark to take it over for me in 97. And so he that's when Mark came online with us after his cooking career, his chefing, and thank God he did, because I was just breaking things left and right. But
I did my share too.
so the rosé is Seth Miller has been the on-site manager for years now there, our trusted friend and partner, and he at one point several years ago, we were looking at what's called the East Block, which is a low block on the site. It has a lot of shading from oak, mature oak trees, so it doesn't see as much sun as the rest of the vineyard, which makes it later to ripen. It doesn't get the same heat level or light exposure. And we had been farming it, and it always had made okay wine. It was in part of our Willamette Valley, and it made wine that was enjoyable, but not quite next level. And at one point, he and I were walking the vineyard, and we're talking about what to do in that site. And he said, it was Seth who came up with the idea, and he said, maybe this block has a higher and better purpose. Maybe it should be rosé, because it would have a very long growing season, which means a lot of complexity. And that so that maybe in fact you can still harvest it after many months of fruit on the vine. Have that detail in the wine that normally you don't see in rosé. Often when people are making rosé, they pick early. They pick something early that hasn't been on the vine quite as long, but they're trying to keep the alcohol levels down, the acidity high. Here, the alcohol stays down, the acidity stays high, just because it's such a cool part of the site. But it makes a beautiful rosé. In fact, I was in Virginia Beach last week. We poured this at 2 dinners, and the master som who directs the wine program for the restaurant I was at said, after trying this, he says it's one of the top 5 rosés from the planet that he's ever had, which is high praise from him. He's a great guy. Now we're looking onto the Pinot Noir selection. So this is see how well they move together? That's not easy. That's years of practice and training. So We have this is a new tier for us in the last couple of years. It's something we always wanted to do. We wanted to go from our Willamette Valley, as you may know, is a regional wine. It's an example of the entire region when blended. Vineyards are blended from any kind of geology, and it's a great introduction. But then we want to begin the education about the region, the area, and these two wines are exactly that, because in the end, it's about geology. What separates one Pinot Noir from another, in the end, the profile, what you smell and taste, is by far mostly determined by the geology of the site. So once vineyards are old enough and their root system is beyond soil and it's engaging that mother rock or that geology below, you start to see a personality from that place in great detail. And so we wanted to be able to show that to people, because we think it's pretty magnificent how you get connected to Pinot Noir, through Pinot Noir, to a place. And so in essence, most of the region is divided into either the old marine sediments, old ocean bed, or the younger basalts that are, so here, 45 million years old, 15 million years old. Because the trace elements in that mother rock below in volcanic are totally different than marine sediments, when those trace elements are brought into the vine through the activity of microbiology, the wines are totally different in their aromatic and flavor profile. You get for the volcanics, you tend to have fruit-driven wines, and they can be red or they can be blue or black in the type of fruit you're perceiving. But what they share, what all the volcanics share, is that is the theme of the wine. Its focus is the fruit, very fruit-driven. They're beautiful. They're laser-like, super directed wines. It's the opposite with marine sediments. Here you have in the old ocean bed, which is again much older. When you reach that old sand, which would be siltstone or sandstone, when that gets reached, and you start to see the character of that place. Instead of being fruit driven, it's more savory. You see a lot of chocolate, tobacco, cedar, anise, clove, fresh turned earth, cola. It's all these things that are not necessarily fruit. You see violets, floral qualities. And that's because that's what that mineral delivers. It's not about Mark and me, other than there is the onus of farming in a way that you are absolutely ensuring that plant has the nutrition to be amazing and to show you all these qualities. It does take amazing farming. And once he delivers fruit to me, to the winery, my job is to not screw it up. My job is to make sure I protect what he's delivered at all costs, and to become invisible, frankly, to make sure all those inherent qualities are protected, and that I don't allow my hand to be an influence on the wine. Yeah, that's about it. So these are the two, and so this is a mid-tier. They are between in pricing. They're generally they're between the Willamette Valley and our single vineyards, but they're part of that educational process about the region.
Awesome. Thank you, Ken. So this is your Northwest Club shipment, spring 2024. So we hope you enjoy these.